What's good, everyone? This is Dev the Coolest.
And this is Ray Bay.
And this is JB.
And welcome to SlickTalk.
Hey.
Hashtag SlickTalk.
Hashtag.
Don't forget that hashtag. What's up, y'all?
This is the last episode of season 2.
So excited.
That went by so fast. We had guests this season.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot more than first season, which had 0.
Right. But when we had to let people, know us, get to know us, and get to know our perspective.
Yeah,
so I
that's
think
very true.
It was a good move for us to just have it just be us for the first season.
And I loved all our guesses.
Yeah. This season was a
amazing.
lot of growth for sure.
No, absolutely.
Did we start recording in the studio for this season? Second season? Or did we? No, yeah, we did this season.
We did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because we started.
Come on, Evolution.
We've been recording since
big.
January.
That's big.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
It's July now.
It's a
Damn.
lot. Yep, it's July.
And JB's been flying up for every episode.
Oh my goodness. That's why I'm so happy for
Aren't you
this
sick
break,
of a
because I
plane
could
right
just
now?
stay in LA for a while. I'm like, can I just stay in LA? I'm tired of coming back to the Bay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So you don't
it's-
love us no more?
I know. I knew Ray was gonna say that. It's good. It's always good.
We're not
seeing
enough
y'all.
of a reason for you to come see?
It's always good of a reason to come and see y'all.
Yes.
Okay.
At the very least.
At the very least.
And family.
And of course, my mom was
Yes.
like, "Oh, you're gonna come down today?" I'm like, "It's a quick in and out.
Always.
It's a quick in and out.
Always.
I'm sorry, ma.
3 hours.
It's a quick
That's
in and out."
it.
Yes. But what are y'all doing during the break? Do y'all have any plans?
I'm going to do more traveling, do more art.
Yes.
Let's see, what else do I want to get into? Focus a lot more on, spiritual things. I'm working on not going out, and I'm saving money.
Yes.
Because, I enjoy going to other countries more than I enjoy going to the club.
Experiences,
So,
yeah. Or,
yeah.
experiences away from home, right?
Definitely.
Nice.
But also just saving in general. I just want to really build
Stack
that
them
up.
coins.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Get a house soon.
Or not. I feel like not even. Not to interrupt Ray what he was talking about, but I feel like not even necessarily right now. A lot of people are so struggling.
Yeah.
because it's expensive to live in California in general. So we say we want to save to get a house, but we need to save in case something comes up.
That's right. Period.
true.
A rainy day fund.
A rainy day fund.
yeah.
So we got to have a savings for that, and then we got to have a savings for a house.
California is definitely a renter's market.
Yes,
It is.
But
Yes.
I definitely want to get a house. If not, just in another state, rent
absolutely.
it out, just to have some property to pass on to my
Texas.
kids.
I heard that's
Yeah,
some pretty-
Texas.
yeah, Texas.
Not Atlanta though.
Lions.
Damn.
Lions.
Are you with me?
No.
Girl. Anyway, so
Shout out Lion King.
shout
Though.
out.
Yes, one of my favorite movies.
For me during the break, I literally am just going to be working my ass off. I have a lot of catching up to do
You
because
stacking coins too.
for a while I was, as you guys know, traveling a lot and
Living
not
your
being
best
able
life.
to sit my ass down. So now it's like I'm refocused and trying to center myself and get back to, reaching my goals and making money and, making sure my well-being and my mental state is good because that's important, and my physical is important. So, just mostly that. I moved to LA last year. So
fast.
just celebrated a year in May of living in LA, but the first year just went by so quick.
Yeah.
And I was moving around and partying all summer and stuff like that. Now this summer I'm like, it's just really work and being focused and
Yeah.
That's what's up.
trying to do it
Okay.
the right way.
What about you?
Working. I feel like we gonna take this break to just work.
Right.
Stack coins.
That's what's up.
That's really all.
Hey,
I'll be
as an
doing.
actor, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I need to.
You know?
And that and not drinking as much.
Nice.
Not that I'm alcoholic or anything, but I definitely that's smoking is some people's thing. Drinking is my thing. Like after work,
Yeah.
working in the service industry, I'm like, I need a nightcap.
Okay.
But I can't allow my job to drive me
To drink.
Okay.
to drink. So
Okay.
just
Absolutely.
that's a small little personal goal. And just growing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Growing.
Absolutely, that's big.
Definitely. I mean, for me, I think I'm in a very balanced state where I feel like my spiritual, emotional, and physical health is pretty balanced. So I'm working on maintaining that, but also now focusing on new projects, focusing on new adventures. So that's very big for me. Reading a lot. I want to write a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
that's my
travel more.
summer. Definitely, the travel bug hit me. I would just
Right.
Yeah.
You took one,
you were
put
just
one
somewhere.
toe on that foreign soil.
okay. You're like, what else is going
Like, I'ma
on?
stay
Now you
here.
see
You
what
know?
I've been saying this whole time.
I mean,
right?
I knew, but we get so wrapped up in like
Yeah.
our day to day. I
Yeah.
mean, for me, it's like stability.
Yeah.
Until you're like, wait, this is not making me happy.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I love my job, but sometimes I gotta let everybody else.
Yeah.
And I just can't see y'all right now.
It's just more. I mean,
Yeah.
I got out of it. It's just more to life.
yeah.
Than just doing the same old routine things. There's
Very
just
true.
more to life. You know, it's good. You do definitely got to make money. You definitely got to find love and
Yeah.
be at peace and everything like that. But this is a huge world. It's a
Right.
big place.
It
and if
is.
traveling is not even your thing, like at least try to expand your mind to figure out what is your thing as opposed to just doing the same thing.
I mean, even if you're not traveling, like if you're not able to, just go to the mountains. Go,
on a
to a
hike.
body of water somewhere. Just
Go camping.
recharge.
or pick up a pen and write. Like, I mean, it's just some
Yeah.
people don't want to leave their house. There's those people as well that just want to be in their house. And
I want to leave
those
my
people-
house. I got hella roommates. I need to leave my house.
Nah, I feel you. I would want to too.
yeah.
So, do we have a game?
Didn't
Or
you say-
we have questions, I guess, but do we have a...
Yeah, I mean, we could do it like a never have I ever real quick, and then we can get to
my
that.
God.
Then we can get to the questions.
Could we just do 2 rounds?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I feel
If
like
that-
it's about to get very explicit. So
Okay.
it's not.
We've also, real quick, remember your explicit question because I want to hear it. But we also did really good this season, or I did. Remember when we started the season, I said, I'm going to keep it real cute this going
Yeah,
around.
we did.
Yeah, I did.
We
you
did.
know,
We
I'm proud
did.
of us.
I didn't shade
mean,
anybody. This did I shade anybody in my head?
Maybe, but growth.
it is
Right.
growth. It is growth.
We've
I'm so
grown so
proud of
much in a
us.
year.
It is growth. But I feel like the more of an audience that we get,
Yeah.
the bigger the audience we get, I might have to backtrack because I want to let people know. There's some people that want that shady
Oh,
Justin.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it's growth, but it's growth. You could have a little slip up every now and then and throw a little shade. Shit.
Right.
I'm working on that.
Shade does not equate to non-growth.
Exactly.
That's a word.
I mean, sometimes shade is not shade. It's just the truth.
Is this the truth?
Yes.
No shade all tea.
Say that again, please.
Sometimes shade is not shade. It's just the
Right.
truth.
It's the tea.
But it's important to know when you need to speak and when you don't really need to say anything
Yeah.
on
Right.
it. So
And that's
Protect your
exactly
peace.
Yeah.
discernment. That's exactly what I'm learning.
Yes.
It's like everything doesn't necessarily
Don't
have
need
to
a
cause
response.
a reaction.
Right.
And I be really wanted to, but I'm
Listen.
like, it's gonna cause a I know it's gonna cause like a ripple effect. So I'm like, just
You're like,
reel it
you know
in,
what?
hold it
Just-
inside,
Yeah.
and just tell somebody else. Don't tell the person.
But
Right.
also, this is what we're here for. I mean, the show's called SlickTalk. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It is
But
what
what's
it
your,
is.
What's your explicit question?
I don't have an explicit question.
He
I
said it's
thought-
gonna get explicit.
Oh, it's going to get explicit.
Yeah, I didn't say I
Oh.
was the one that's gonna take it there.
I was excited.
What was
Okay.
never
course.
have
I got the
I
little
ever.
horny.
Right.
No, I didn't.
We just talked about how well you were doing.
Okay.
No,
I was gonna
Okay.
say something, have a never have I ever, but it would be just directed at one person. So I mean, I couldn't even just get it. I couldn't even just.
well, we
validate it.
also all know each other, so how can we say never have I
Exactly.
ever?
True.
That can't be personal. Okay. Well, never have I ever.
Fast.
I know, right? Never have I ever been to a Catholic church.
I have
Ooh,
my entire childhood.
Catholic church.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I grew up Catholic. Haiti.
Oh, okay, you did say that.
Oh, you did say that.
Damn,
Now,
y'all
I
don't
feel-
know
I'm
me?
sorry. No, I do, but you definitely
I mean, you
said
did say you
that.
grew up Catholic. That don't necessarily mean that you had to be going to the churches.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Christian people out here that don't go to
Don't go to
church.
church.
I mean, there's a lot of people that go to church that are not really Christian. So,
That's true.
Touche. On the
Touche.
other
you
side
know,
of it.
some people are praying inside their house and they're more saved than some.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, I went to Catholic church
Okay.
and even Catholic school. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'd never been to a Catholic church.
It's boring.
Actually, you know what? Okay, so I'm actually lying. I have been to a Catholic church.
Oh,
the
so I got both of y'all.
Right. So the Catholic church, and I almost forgot, but the Catholic church was actually in Italy when I went to Rome.
Oh, the one that they've been building forever?
Yes.
Is that the one that burned?
No. I didn't go to that one.
That was Notre Dame. That burned,
yeah, that was Notre Dame. No, I actually went to a few out there because they were like made into like museums or they were around a museum. So I was doing a lot out there. But yeah,
so it has to be more specific. Is it Catholic service or Catholic church?
Well, I've never been to church, so I guess service either.
Yeah.
I've never been to a Catholic church, period.
Oh, okay.
It was just a church. It wasn't service. They weren't having service.
I've been to Catholic service. 3 hours.
I would like to.
People speaking languages
I would definitely
understand.
would just like to just see like what they're talking about and how it's approached, like how their sermon is approached. It's considered a sermon, I guess, when they preach the word or something. Yeah, how their sermon is approached. Just like I would like to, go hear somebody that's Muslim speak and get their perspective and everything.
My take on Catholic church is that I always felt like it was not my culture and why are we here? But that's me as a young child who thought like that.
Yeah.
And I hated it. I hated being in there. Usually there's like no air conditioning. It's packed because everybody goes to church, but nobody takes that lesson outside of the church and apply it to their life.
That's true.
So
somebody else never have you ever.
Ray.
You go first because I have nothing in mind right now.
Okay, so never have I ever given head to someone while they were driving.
You haven't? You're not living life.
Nuh-uh. I probably jacked it a little bit.
Shut
but I didn't give head. You see the hand movement? Y'all not in the studio. That's why I said shut up,
y'all, because
y'all not in the studio, but I was like, I probably jacked it a little bit, but I'm too scared for my life. I can't reach it.
Have never, so.
I have.
You have never?
Mm-mm.
No, because I remember... No, I'm just kidding.
I know.
No, not remember with me. I was about to say something.
Oh, no.
You were
No.
I was in the back seat like, Ray, don't do it. Ray said, no, I gotta go get this.
I definitely...
Hold on, back to the first episode.
What?
That was just a reminiscent on the first episode that we've ever did.
The black episode?
Yeah.
What happened? What are we talking about?
Yeah, the black episode. You was like, yeah, because when I was young, I was in the bathroom like...
Oh, God.
And I just threw me back. I be remembering like all the episodes.
I got some... My auntie had some words for me. Anyway. Right. I'm a grown man.
About to be 30.
I'm the last one. But yeah, I gave head while people drove.
Okay. Yes,
I couldn't get it out, but yeah.
I gave head. Ray said he doesn't.
I have not.
Oh, okay. Just had to throw that explicit one in. Now, Ray, you can meet us in the middle.
In the middle? I might go further. Watch.
Oh, damn.
I'm just playing.
That's hilarious.
Never have I ever been to a sex party.
Oh,
sex party I haven't.
That's rude. He did that on purpose, y'all. I'm telling you guys right now, he did that on purpose.
I'm scared to go to a sex party.
Huh?
I'm scared to go to a sex party.
Child, I mean, I don't think that there's necessarily anything to be scared of because nobody's going to attack you.
I know, but it's just like a dark room. I'm just scared of the dark.
It's not always like a dark room.
Oh,
it's
I
not
I just go off of stories I've heard.
Yeah, since I'm the expert on this show, apparently, which I'm not an expert, but yeah, I mean, I have, and there's nothing to be scared of.
There's nothing wrong with it.
What I will say is just you are, when you do go or when you are in that environment, it's really important to do things that you are comfortable with.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Set your boundaries.
I've been to a bathhouse, but I've never been to, I don't know if that classifies as a sex party.
I mean, there's a DJ and everything. So.
No, I think that's different. Right. I think bathhouse sex parties is different.
Yeah, they're different.
Completely.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're different.
Yeah, I've never been to a sex party.
And I definitely don't regret it because I'm an adventurer like that, and I like to experience. I don't necessarily need to go and do things, you know, but to be in that environment and be like, this is what they really be doing. Oh, y'all nasty.
Y'all nasty. I thought it was just important.
I like to be watched. People on that one person.
I like to be watched, so that's what I enjoyed at the bathhouse.
Although I'm very sex positive, I don't like the idea of people watching me like that.
Yeah. Well, I love it. Give me a voyeur any day.
Okay, that probably goes hand in hand with you being an actor. You like to be watched.
Center
you want
stage.
to entertain. Center stage. You like to be the star, so that makes sense. It all makes sense.
Full circle moment. No.
Full circle.
Are we doing another round or y'all over it?
I'm over it. Completely over it. Let's get into some things.
Right. So if y'all haven't noticed yet, this is a shooting the shit episode. Clearly.
Oh yeah, we didn't say that.
Yeah, it'll be in the title too.
Okay.
So, okay. Question. Full disclosure, these are some questions that I heard on the Breakfast Club that I kind of want to ask y'all because I thought they were super interesting topics.
Okay.
So,
I love the Breakfast Club too.
Yeah, me too. Shout out Breakfast Club. We should be on there one day. Watch. Have you ever given it up to an unworthy man?
Have I what?
Or person, I guess. Have you ever given it up to an unworthy person?
Is that really a question?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, wait a minute. But we're like, we're in the gay community, of course.
Yeah, that's true. I guess everyone
And
has,
sometimes
right?
you don't realize until after. You're like, oh, you really ain't shit.
Right.
Listen, I realized right in the middle, like, damn, why am I doing this? Oh,
Yeah.
fuck it.
Sometimes you just, you're single and bored.
Yeah, my mind went straight to this experience that I had when I was a teenager on the party line, and I met up with this dude. I probably even told this on here before already,
Yeah.
but y'all stop
you
me.
told me too.
Yeah, stop me if I already said it on an episode before. But the guy, he sounded real good on the phone, sexy trade on the phone.
Come
he
on,
said he was
Sexy Trade.
Filipino. He lived around the corner from me. I was like, okay, cute. So I walked to his little neighborhood, and this little thing kept walking past over and over. And I was like, okay, why does this boy keep walking by me? Child, snotty nose, was a mess, was hideous.
Oh, my goodness.
I ended up leaving, but I was young and horny, and I went back, and I was like, you can just give me head.
Damn.
Oh, my God.
So he gave me head, but then he wanted to turn around and spread his cheeks, and I said,
okay. This is taking me out, y'all. I'm not about to play this game today.
All this progress.
Today is a beautiful
But I said,
Saturday
this
in
progress.
Oakland,
I said,
California.
he tried this. He tried this.
I'm hella bad at it. He had to give
You
a
want to
vivid
lie to
picture.
you want to turn around and spread them.
Okay. Child, I would have gave it. There's something
But
in there.
that was an
sis.
unworthy person for sure. That's what
I was
came to
confused
my
with
head.
what unworthy is.
But-
Like, is
but
it
it is
unworthy
deeper than
as
that,
of
too.
like,
Our exes were unworthy.
oh,
Maybe.
damn.
I mean, I can speak for
I don't-
myself, I guess. But our ex was unworthy. In the moment, he was worthy. But
I'm gonna hold my shade. Dang.
You said what you said.
Yeah.
I don't have to say anything after that.
I
I
was thinking unworthy as of like somebody does not appreciate what you bring to the table, not necessarily just sex.
That I could see that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could definitely see that.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about sex, most of my 20s,
Yeah, that's why I was
Right.
thinking.
All
I
the
can
good
get
ones.
that.
unworthy.
hookups,
I'm
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Gave ourselves to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I don't even know where they are anymore.
Oh, damn.
hope I don't run into them again.
I really don't. I really don't. It's so
They're
sad.
around.
I had a little thing with some boy that lived far away, and we met each other one time and never saw each other again.
Damn.
But we
My
talked for like a
goodness.
year. Anyway,
Ain't that something? He could be all the way in China right
do y'all
now. or
still, speaking of unworthy, giving it up to people, do y'all still send dirty pics to the person you're dating? Like explicit pictures? Is that still a thing? Given like, y'all remember like the whole backlash with that Instagram influencer, her nudes getting leaked, or she leaked them herself
yeah.
because somebody hacked her account or whatever.
Yeah.
Given like we're in this new age of everything's in the cloud, do y'all
Yeah.
still do it, or are y'all a little bit more cautious?
You know what? I'm more comfortable sending pics like that to people that I'm in a long-term relationship with.
Okay.
When's the last time I've done that? It's been a very long time. Even like briefly after being single, when I'm like, all right, let me see if I might try online dating. I got on the apps, did not meet anybody on there,
Yeah.
and I did not send any dirty pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And I'm just like, because I'm like, this is not you. I think at some point I got to the age where I'm like, this is not what I want.
You want to do it,
Yeah. So I don't.
I don't know if there's. I mean, I don't know if there's a specific age that people can get to. Maybe a specific age for yourself is what you're saying.
When I was in my early to mid 20s, I used to send dirty pics all the time.
okay.
I was doing online dating. Like,
So you got to a specific age where you were like, "Oh no, I'm at an age right now, but I don't feel like I need to be doing."
I don't think
this.
it's really an age. I think it's a mindset.
Okay.
I think it's once you've
I
had
appreciate you
something that's a
clearing
little
that up,
bit.
Because listen, I didn't see some 65-year-olds on there.
Yeah.
God, with
Like,
some
what you
long
looking
to the
for, young
knees.
thing? Oh, child.
I think
listen,
it's like a
engraved in
mindset
here.
because I think once you've experienced something like deeper, no pun intended,
Right.
I can't
but
with y'all.
it's just like I can't
Yeah.
I don't see it for that anymore. Like, I'd rather, you know, meet somebody at a bar or
absolutely.
meet somebody at a
in-person encounters.
library or something, you know. Just,
Well, I still be undressed. I mean, I'm in a relationship now. Disclaimer. But I still have
Y'all
eyes.
hear that?
But, you know, naturally the eyes, if somebody's wearing some basketball shorts, I'm still going to, you know. So if I did meet somebody in person, I'm going to still kind of, you know, see what's going on, you know.
No, you're talking about saying dirty.
Well, I know,
Yeah.
but I'm saying since you don't do it, you will prefer an in-person encounter. I'm just speaking for myself.
Oh, okay.
In that space, I still, you know, I don't really send them myself, but I still kind of undress people.
Yeah.
In like,
I think that's just human.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think
think that's human. I mean, I think we all do that. We all know who's attractive, and we all like. We know we all look for what we're interested in, you know?
Yeah.
I'm in the gym. I look at dudes' asses all the time. I was like, wow, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
That's what we got eyes for.
Like, wow.
Do you, JB?
I don't. So my thing is, I do send pictures like that, unapologetically. I do send pictures like that, but I don't send.
He ain't ashamed.
Full. Like I don't send. I don't. It's like not. My
Oh, you don't
whole
send your
body
head and
or
your
my
body at the
face.
same
Oh
time.
yeah,
That's
I don't
smart.
do that
Never
at
send
all.
your face,
Smart.
y'all.
do
Y'all, if
that.
y'all
I mean,
still
if you're
sending-
doing that, learn that.
Right.
Don't send your head and your body together.
I don't do
neck
that
down, not
at
even
all.
neck down, because some people you got tattoos and stuff, they can still read into that.
Ooh,
So-
but
it's
that's
crazy
another
'cause
reason why.
I do have an experience where it was actually out here in the Bay Area where I was speaking to someone on one of those apps that you love. And literally I asked him to send me pictures.
Oh, Chad, I know exactly.
Right? And I got my picture back. I'm like, but bruh, this is my picture.
Oh wait, you got your picture?
Yeah, you know what
I
I'm
thought you were
saying.
talking about something. I'm not gonna say it on air, but
Oh.
I'll tell you
Somebody
after the
send
fact.
your picture back?
Yes, it was my picture that I had sent out.
See, that's
So
that's
they were
another-
using your pictures.
Yeah.
So somebody else
a
may
new
have
picture.
sent
Wow.
your
Yeah.
picture to them.
Absolutely.
So see,
Yeah. No, but also there was a situation where like there was one situation I would say that I was on one of those apps and I was talking to someone for a while, but I don't put my face picture up on those apps. I personally just don't want my face picture up on those apps.
Right.
For
that reason,
For
though.
that reason. And nothing against people that do.
Right.
To each his own. But I don't have my picture up and somebody hit me up that also didn't have their picture up. And we were speaking for a while, like off and on for a couple of days. And then all of a sudden he like sent me some nude pictures like of himself. And I'm like, okay, before your face. Oh, well, they're nice,
Well, there's
whatever.
that, yeah.
So I sent mine back and then he was like, oh, those are nice, blah, blah, blah. And we were talking more. And then we decided to open up our face pictures for each other. And he opened up his face picture and I knew exactly who he was. And he was just like the ex of like somebody, like not that I was friends with, but like an ex of a person that I knew. But like we were like cool and we had seen each other out and about. So it's kind of like awkward.
Yeah.
And so I was stuck in a position and stuck in a place where
Like,
do
do
I
you still
open up
open
my
your picture?
page? So I blocked him. Smart.
see, well, yeah,
Which
that
is kind of like
right.
unfortunate. I know a lot
Yeah.
of people do that.
Yeah.
Is that they were like, why did this person like
Just
block me?
right.
And my automatic response if somebody were to do that to me is that, oh,
They know who
me.
I am.
Yeah.
Which is kind of embarrassing. That makes me kind of
Yeah,
like,
because then
sit,
it's like, well, shit,
who were
saw
they?
me? Yeah.
Child, they know all my parts and everything. That's the risk that you take on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't send those pictures anymore. But in some cloud somewhere, there is full front, back,
my young
sex
20-year-old
tapes.
body.
Ain't that crazy?
Somebody probably still got those saved.
somewhere. Somebody hit me. One of my exes found a video of me on Tumblr,
Oh my god.
and that shit blew my mind.
Big. Now I'm interested in what
Wait.
you were going to say though. Before you said you couldn't say it on air.
Oh, a friend of ours that you saw,
Oh,
their ex
recent.
in Hayward.
Huh?
See, I don't want to.
Oh, yeah, that. Yeah, that
See,
was
like stuff
deep.
like that.
Now, that was deep. That was deep.
But the
right
listeners
there.
don't know what we're talking about, so it's
Yeah,
not fair. So we gotta
that was
just
deep.
change the subject. We gotta tell Ray too, because Ray, I don't know if
about
Ray
shit.
knows.
I don't know, but
Yeah, see, y'all gotta be careful sending out little naked stuff.
Okay. Shit, you gotta be careful sending face pictures in general if you're not out the closet.
That's very true.
Anyways, moving forward.
That is very true.
oh, speaking of apps, one funny thing that happened to me the other day, I was getting kind of like messages with a code from what app was it? Tinder.
Okay.
Like Tinder kept sending me, your code is this, your code is this, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah, I remember you said that. Somebody was trying to. Oh,
At
you
first
posted that
I
on
was-
your IG story.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
hella confused. I'm like, are they trying to tell me to like, you should open a Tinder? What's
I
going
know.
on?
I can just see Ray there, so confused.
I was confused as hell. And then I was like, and it took me like probably one more block of walking. I'm like, oh shit, somebody's trying to break into.
You're logging to your. See?
The thing is, I haven't had Tinder since when I was going to school in LA.
Wow.
Maybe they were trying to.
Do you have an idea who it was?
No,
Really?
no.
Wow, that's
And the thing is,
interesting.
it could be anyone. It could be any, like, it really could be anybody. But for
Maybe
a second
they-
there, I was like, okay.
has to be
I
somebody
sent a
that's-
message to Tinder customer service saying, hey, I'm not trying to open up, my profile, whatever. And I even went in my profile to see somebody successfully hacked something. And then when I tried to, it's like, you have no profile. I'm like, yeah, I erased it. So,
Oh, that's
but I
kind of
still
Yeah.
called
intrusive.
customer
Like, that's
service.
that makes me itch a little bit.
I gave him my email. I
It
gave him my
does.
phone number. I was like, if anybody try to open, a profile under these two things, call me first because I'm not trying to. But that was like really weird.
Yeah, that was really, really weird.
But
That's a risk
I'm-
to take on downloading those apps and
Yeah.
doing those apps and everything.
I
Yeah.
could stress over who was trying to do it, but I decided to let it go.
You put that post up, and hopefully they got. If it was somebody that was following you, they got the message.
Right.
To
Right.
Stop that shit. The hell,
That's disgusting.
ain't it?
Because they were trying to see your nudes.
I don't have news on
I
there.
know.
News
I know.
on
I'm just
Tinder.
saying. They were trying to see it. They thought because I do.
Oh,
If I log into any of them, I mean, so I had a rule where I wouldn't send it on Tinder. Tinder for some reason was a
Yeah.
little bit more quote unquote high class.
I feel like it still is.
But like when I was on Jacked and Grindr, like I
Yeah.
definitely was sending shit galore.
Absolutely.
That I don't know what people are using with now. But y'all be careful out there sending y'all stuff. In about 20 years, we're gonna have somebody running for president that got
Listen.
nudes somewhere
I
because
mean,
that's,
I
that's
think-
just our
I think-
generation.
But I mean, I feel like
It will be
now-
accepted. that-
Exactly.
Yeah, it'll be
Right.
accepted for sure because
Exactly.
we all
Like, I
did
mean,
it.
Yeah,
I
'cause
saw
we all
him
did it.
10 years ago.
Maybe
Yeah.
the lingering baby boomers will have a problem with it. But,
Yeah.
I shouldn't say it like that. But, the baby boomers that are still around. You know what I
The
mean?
lingering baby boomers saying they haven't died off yet. Oh my God, he rude, y'all. I'm not about
I
to play
didn't
with
mean it
him.
like that.
Lingering baby boomer.
JB.
Oh my
All right, give us
goodness.
another question.
Oh, okay. Okay, so is a person justified in cheating if married sex life is bland?
No.
Why?
Because you made a commitment. If it's not working out, you got to end that contract before you get to somebody else.
So you think they should divorce?
They should work out their issues. Find every way to work it out. Because when you made a commitment to someone and their heart's on the line, even if the marriage become bland, it's because either you need to...
The sex in the marriage becomes bland.
You got to talk to your partner and try to spice it up, try to end it. You can talk it out to the point where the partner might agree to bring somebody else in your sex life.
But what if they're like, nope, so they just never get better? And like,
I think your sex life is a very important thing that you can divorce over.
It is.
It is. If your sex life is not working out, if for some reason this person is no longer fulfilling you, I don't know if there's something mental that they're going through or this is something that you just need a little bit more than what you were getting in the first place. I think it's very smart to dissolve the marriage and then go find what you're looking for.
What about taking a step further and say that they're incapable of after a while you've been married with them for 5 years and then they all of a sudden are incapable
damn,
of
only 5 years.
right, and they're all of a sudden incapable of having sex or doing something
Oh, like,
sexual.
ooh.
How's
yeah.
incapable?
Like they get something chopped off or something?
Or they get their thing chopped off, or that it starts to hurt or something, or they lose like feeling in it or something. There's tons of things
Like
that could
erectile
happen.
dysfunction
So what happens
and-
in that case?
If sex is very important to you in that sense, I think it's for you to search within yourself before you involve anybody else into this mess.
But I guess going back to JB's question, like down the line though, initially everything was great.
Yeah.
But like down the line, it kind of like just evolves to becoming like this, like,
I think what we don't understand is, so you don't want to hurt this person's feeling by asking them for something they cannot give you, right? However, you go seek it somewhere else. when they find out that you're getting the thing that they cannot give
that's gonna hurt
from
them
someone
more.
else,
Yeah.
that's going to create more pain.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I agree with Ray. I agree with Ray quite a lot with his point initially. But what I will say, playing the devil's advocate, because y'all know how I can get.
Come on,
which
Satan.
I kind of agree. I kind of agree with this perspective a little bit as well. But I think that it's really important for both parties to be conscious of what they're bringing to the relationship marriage.
Right.
So if one person feels like they're not getting enough in the marriage and they decide to go out, before that person even decides to go out, the other person should already know in the back of their head something's missing. We're not having as much sex as we had before. This dude's not responding, or this person's not responding like they used to before.
Yeah.
So I think it would behoove the person to say, hey, let's have a sit down. So it's a responsibility of both people. If that doesn't happen, if a conversation doesn't happen between the both people and there's nothing that's spotted or called out on the lack of sex, then, I can't really be too mad for the other person to step out. That's what they choose to do. It's not necessarily good. I'm not saying I approve of it or anything.
Right.
But it makes
But
sense.
you can see
it makes sense because conversations don't happen. Like, people don't have conversations because they don't know how to approach conversations. So if a conversation is not being had by both parties, and one of the parties that's not doing what they're supposed to do in the bedroom doesn't approach the situation, it's a responsibility of both people to approach the situation.
Yeah, I think it's only. I'll let you get to your point, but I think it's only justified if a conversation was had and there's no improvement. Like, there's no work toward bettering it or allowing the person to, explore other options while you guys are still. That's the only way that I can foresee it being justified. Now, if it's like you're doing it, on the low and you're trying to sneak out, then I don't think that's really justified.
Here's how I see it. The thing is, you didn't really disagree with what I said, which
I said that I
understand.
agree,
But what you're also saying is that within the marriage, like, okay, let's say conversations are not being had about the situation, and one conversation happened and nothing changes.
So if a conversation happened, then that's what we're saying.
But the thing is, if somebody's married to you, they're owed more than one conversation. You're owed therapy, sex therapy. You're like, you should go through the works before you basically betray your relationship that way. No, people have real issues.
Listen, in a perfect world, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Like, completely, that would make sense in a perfect world. But nobody's really, especially when things are happening so fast.
Yeah,
right?
everything's at your fingertips.
Everything is at your fingertips. Like, if a person is having issues in their marriage sexually and they're not getting fulfilled sexually, and they so happen to go out to a bar with their boys, and then there's a chick there at the bar. I'm just using a heterosexual thing as
and the language
example,
too,
right? And there's a chick there that. Girl, there's a chick there that is approaching the dude and is basically trying to come on to him, and if he's not getting fulfilled at home, that's a lot of temptation to try to push away, especially if a conversation has not been had.
Well, you know what though, that man was not ready to be married.
You can't necessarily say that.
Yes, I can.
What about a person that's been married for 10 years?
Marriage.
What about a person that's been married for 10 years?
Yes, even after 10 years, that means that you were not ready to be married, because the moment that things went south, right? That you took the opportunity to step out, because
it's not necessarily the moment that things went south. This could be a progression of things.
It could have been.
He could literally have been holding all that sexual frustration in for the past month,
and therefore you had enough reasons to dissolve the marriage.
Well, it's a situation by situation.
It is
situation because to your point, to JB's point, like, he could be emotionally abused at home, but because he decides to step out and do something with somebody else because he feels that comfort, I think our society sees cheating as like the end all of a relationship without taking into consideration things that built up to the cheating.
Exactly.
Or, what the person may have a sex addiction, that they have to work through. So they're not justified in that. But if you go to seek out therapy for that, then
And unfortunately, sometimes, not to cut you off, but this is the last thing I would say. Unfortunately, it takes sometimes messing up for both parties to come together and say, "Hey, you know, this was wrong. I did that, but it took me being called out and noting that this is wrong for us to come together, go to seek therapy and everything like that." Just like you said, everybody's situation is different, and I'm not saying that it's right, but unfortunately, we don't live in a perfect world, so there are going to be temptations. There's going to be times where you're not having conversations. There's going to be times where you want the marriage to work, but you are afraid to dissolve it just because sex hasn't been happening in the past month.
Well, for me, I think I see marriage is completely different than I guess a lot of people, because I would not marry someone that I don't have all those connections with. If, you know...
I mean, we have connections like that in the beginning.
The thing is, I've considered it. I've been in relationships where people can't communicate with me, and that I just kind of went numb because I wanted it to work, but I'm like, I tried everything. I'm asking you to communicate. I'm asking you to fulfill me in some kind of, like, I don't know, intellectual way, or have conversations and just kind of get us to know each other on a deeper level, and that's not happening. So the intimacy and vulnerability is not there. So what ended up happening is that the relationship itself crumbled, and you know what? It felt like a marriage. It felt like a bad marriage in that moment. But if this person asked me to marry them when things were going the way it was, I really think that I would have said no, because I don't see our relationship getting to where I wanted it to be.
But that's what I'm saying. You just kind of like prove one of the points that I was saying initially in the beginning, is that it's a responsibility of both parties to address the situation and have a conversation before it gets to that.
Yes.
So like you just said, in your situation specifically, you went numb. Yes. Right? Had you not went numb and had you said, hey, this is something that
imagine the person that's pushing for all of the connections that was not getting what they wanted, and the other person felt like you were not giving me sex. Yeah. If somebody is asking you for, like, intimacy and you know, and things like that, and you're not giving it to them, but you just want the physical, that is not a relationship. That is a sex buddy. That is a fuck boy.
Well, I think we're also looking like we're all coming from different stages of the relationship too. Because I think you're coming from a, like, before you go into the relationship, like, you should know. But I think that there are relationships that they go into it super just like sexually attracted to their partner, but over time,
time makes a big difference.
And the thing is, a lot of people don't realize the relationship takes so much nurturing.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, it's like a plant you want to survive longer than you. Like, because, and what we don't realize is that you stepping out is not just hurting you or that person, it's hurting the unit. Family unit.
And it's hurting future relationships that you get in as well, because that's all held up. The hurt that you cause the other person can be held inside, and they take out that hurt that they felt from that last relationship on their new relationship. Oh yeah,
it's harder. You're always.
I get what you're saying, and I understand why somebody could step out. I just think that it's still wrong to do so.
I believe that too. I'm just thinking realistically.
It's definitely wrong. We're on a court. We're not encouraging cheaters, y'all. We just
I think it's still wrong to do so, because you don't realize how much damage you're doing compared to just your instant gratification.
Yeah, absolutely.
And people are saying that, oh, you know, you were weak. You thought about your partner 50 times before you climb in bed with somebody else. That was not a mistake. That was a choice.
Unless they were high or something.
That was a choice.
Or they was drunk. I mean, that's another...
that could be another
that's another equation as well. Yeah. All I'm saying is that nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
And
I mean, there's a difference between kissing or, like, you know, funneling with somebody else.
Is that a difference?
Like, well,
that brings up another topic of how do you define cheating?
No. Exactly. I'm not saying, like, I'm just saying, like, when you climb in bed with somebody, you thought about, okay, I'm going too deep. Kissing somebody right away, right there.
I never think about if I'm going too deep.
You gonna take it or not.
I'm talking about something serious here.
I'm just joking with you. You gotta throw that in.
Like, okay, for me, I have levels of what I could excuse, right? If we were not communicating, we're on the outs, and you're like, I fucked up, I kissed somebody. Yeah. And you came and told me. Yeah. We could work through that.
Yeah.
If you climb in bed with somebody.
They say I fucked somebody. You couldn't work through that?
No, probably not.
See, and that's why it's all individual.
I'm just being honest.
That's all individual.
The reason being is because being from a home where I've seen somebody like...
I get it. We all have our stories,
yeah.
and we all have our reasons for doing everything.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. I totally get it. Yeah.
I had to. We're doing it live while we're recording, y'all. But anyway, I don't know where we at with time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So.
Yeah, it was great.
Ooh, I'm hot.
Okay. That was like a heated question.
Yeah.
That was a
It was.
I didn't think we would, because there's so much more I wanted to talk about, but
no,
we're at
absolutely.
time. So.
Yeah.
No, but that was definitely a great conversation, and that's why I like to play the devil's advocate, or I guess I can say different perspective, because it makes us think even more on that topic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It'll be easy for me to be like, "Oh, I agree with you, Ray," and leave it at that. But I mean, what kind of fun is that? So, you know.
All right, y'all want to say anything to the listeners on here?
Not on live, but for a minute.
Yes.
But I am excited for this break because, you know.
Yeah.
We
are excited for the break, but what I do want to say is I want to thank everyone for sticking with us through season 1 and 2.
Oh my goodness.
And still supporting.
Yes.
And for all the new listeners,
you know,
all the new listeners that are binge listening to our show right now, we really appreciate y'all. Because, you know, a lot of people think like, oh my God, I'm not following this season yet. I'm like, it's cool, it's recorded, it's still there, you know?
Yeah.
So as long as you like listening, and I still get text messages like, you know, what you said on episode so-and-so is like pretty dope.
From season 1. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well.
No,
I had to go back and listen to the episode. What did I say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you have any, and I feel like we've said this before, but we're all approachable, like mad approachable on social media, and we take feedback and advice and, you know, ideas.
I'm not approachable if I'm hangry.
Touche. But we got to get out of here. Listen, we love y'all so much. We're not just saying it because, you know, we out of formality. We really, really appreciate y'all. And my emotional ass always gets emotional thinking about, you know, the support that we get from y'all and sticking with us. But we're not done. This is only the beginning.
Yes.
Season 2 of Lord knows how many. But next season is bigger and better for sure.
Oh, we have some surprises next season.
Yes. We're talking about big surprises. Yes.
And I'm so proud of us all as a collective. I do want to throw that in. I want to say that I'm so proud of us all as a collective, because what I will say last, you know, I can go on one. What I will say last is there's a lot. So this is why I feel like we stand out from the rest, and then I'll stop.
You better.
Is the simple fact that we have been consistent for the past 2 seasons. What I mean by consistent is that when it comes down to getting together to record, when it comes down to putting out the episodes, like we've hit it like every other week. We haven't missed a week. We haven't been late. We've been consistent. We've grown. We've done a live show. We got offered to do another live show.
Living room.
Listen, from my apartment living room to an actual studio to being, you know, on other people's podcasts, having people come on ours. So I do just want to give us a shout out for being majorly consistent and working hard. We definitely deserve this break. And over this break, I just want us to
I'm going on a cruise.
More.
And I definitely appreciate you saying that, because I was talking to someone about how we don't take a moment to celebrate our successes.
Oh, child, I celebrate.
You know,
listen, I celebrate every night.
We jump to the next project and the next project, not realizing like we're doing something pretty big, pretty great.
Yes.
So I am so proud to do it with y'all.
Yes.
And you know,
and there was a question last day.
Oh God,
there was a question on the.
We can go a little overtime.
Sorry, there was a question on this podcast page that I follow on. This is muscles. There was a question on the podcast page that I follow on Facebook that said, "How do you stay encouraged with continually doing your podcast when you don't feel like the viewers or the listeners are coming in?" And somebody said, because it's therapy for me. It's a way for me to get therapeutic. It's a way for me to get out what I have to say. And he was like, and even if people don't listen at that time, that's going to be out there forever.
That's
the words
true.
that you guys have spoke, their encouragement, the feedback, the energy, the positive energy that you guys have put out is going to be out there forever. So if it doesn't touch that person at that one time, they're eventually going to get it, or somebody's eventually going to get it.
You better preach.
Very true.
Come on, Martin Luther King birthday.
Amen. Let the church say amen.
Amen.
All right, I'm done.
Anyway, we love y'all. See y'all. And we always say 2 weeks, but now it'll be a couple of months.
So we'll be back. We'll come back with some fire.
Some fire. All right. Bye.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Chocolate bita.
Love y'all.